When it comes to YouTube, consistency is key. But what happens if you just stop posting? That's what we're gonna break down in today's video. I recently took 2 months off YouTube and then I came back and I started posting again. And what happened to my channel during that time is actually really interesting. So let's dive into it. All right, so I am here. I have my YouTube studio opened up. Here are my analytics. We're gonna talk about Q1 of 2020, how I did, how much money I made, how many subscribers I got, how many views, all of the things. So let's check it out. But first I need to explain a little context of why there was this big break. You can see right here, my last video that I uploaded was on January 15th. And then I came back just over 2 months later on March 18th, and I came back with another video. So I took a break from YouTube for 2 solid months. And the reason I took such a big break is because I had my baby on January 30th. So leading up to that, I was finishing up some projects and I just didn't have time to upload. And then after that, I was just spending time with the baby. I was recovering. You should be allowed to do that as a woman, and I did. And when I felt ready to come back to YouTube, I did. So during this time, I wasn't beating myself up with the fact that I hadn't uploaded. That wasn't even crossing my mind because my YouTube channel isn't my life, my family is my life. So let's jump into it. Let's dissect how this worked for me. So just looking at views, at the beginning of the year, I was getting around 2,500 to 3,000 views per day. And that was pretty steady. You can see here when I uploaded, I got a big chunk of views, over 3,000, and it stayed pretty consistent for the first 2 weeks into February. So for me, that was kind of like the algorithm saying, oh, it's okay, she missed an upload here or there, no big deal. But then after that point, it really started to go down. So you can see that my views per day went down to around 2,000, anywhere, 1,600, which is about half of what it was doing before. And then once I started posting again, I started getting around 1,700 to 2,000 views per day. So even though I came back, my views didn't spike back up, which is pretty interesting. Looking at subscribers, it's kind of the same thing. They were just kind of steady, and then slowly. And typically with YouTube, your subscribers are just going to be a reflection of the number of views you have. So it makes sense that subscribers also went down. And looking at money more or less, there was a little bit of a dip, but it was kind of staying the same. So at the very beginning, I was making around $22 to maybe $28 a day, 30, I hit 30. But even then, I was hitting some days while I was gone where it was higher, and then there were some drops, and then it was kind of hovering around $20 a day when I came back versus maybe the $25 to $30 mark. So I definitely felt a little bit of a hit on my per day earnings, but you can see at the end of the month I had a video that dropped and it actually spiked my earnings, and it was my highest earning day of the period. And this is because this video was all about hiring a video editor. So I think because of the content of that, I was attracting advertisers. So I think those advertisers, their CPM rates were a bit higher than normal. So here's the thing, taking time off YouTube is important, and you are not a robot. Even though you have the best of intentions of batching all of your content, that may not happen. Life just happens sometimes. In my case, I was nose to the grindstone working on my course, the VidBoss Academy. I had already launched it to my students and I was dripping the modules out week by week. So all of my free time was spent working on the course. I did not have time to even just sit down and shoot and edit a quick YouTube video. And here's the thing that I want to hit home. It's okay if you take a break. Obviously, you want to do your best. You want to batch things and have things ready to go. But if you can't, if there's an emergency or you're just burned out or you're tired, take a break. Miss an upload, take a few weeks off. It's fine. You're gonna be okay in the end. And really, what's best for you and your mental health and even your physical health is more important than hitting your upload schedule. And also at the same time, don't beat yourself up over the fact that you missed a YouTube upload. Who cares? Yes, people will miss you, especially if they love your content and they are loyal subscribers. But just send a quick note in your community tab if you have over 1,000 subscribers and let people know. And here's the thing, people will respect you. They'll say, hey, take a break, you deserve it, because you do. So let's hop back to the video. So now let's go into the reach tab. This basically shows the number of impressions. This is that YouTube funnel that I talk about. You can check that out in this video. Let's put it right here. This video right here where I talk about the infamous YouTube funnel, your secret to getting more views. Check that out if you're interested. But my impressions were really high. They were in the 30s to as high as 48,000, and then they just slowly started to decrease. And you can see where those views were coming from during this time. So mostly they were coming from search, then external sources, suggested videos, me right now, my videos aren't being super promoted with suggested and browse features, which that's the holy grail. That's what you are striving for. Channels that really blow up, it's not because they have great SEO, it's because they're getting promoted by YouTube itself in suggested videos and in the browse features. YouTube is actively pumping its video in front of people who aren't necessarily searching for it. That being said, I'm still a big proponent of SEO because when you're newer, YouTube doesn't necessarily know who you are and how they can trust you. And SEO and appearing in the search results, that is your way to kind of prove to YouTube that, hey, you are a noteworthy channel, you are reliable, you are trustworthy. And then we will use that as momentum to get your videos pushed into the browse features and the suggested. So definitely a big drop as far as my impressions. That's basically any opportunity someone saw one of my thumbnails and had an opportunity to click and watch. They were just showing it to less people during this time. And since I've come back, it hasn't come back up. And that is kind of a bummer of taking so much time off YouTube, is that it's not like I came back and boom, things spiked back up to the previous levels. That didn't happen. So interestingly enough, my click-through rate at this time actually increased. It was maybe around 5.7% and now it's up in the 6s, which is great. And especially recently, I've been trying to mix up my thumbnail strategy to make them more dynamic and more clickable. And so those have been working for me. So on the engagement tab really quickly, this is just how long people are watching your videos for. That has gone down and the view duration more or less has stayed the same. Mine is around 4 minutes and 17 seconds. So on average, people are watching 4 minutes of my video, and whether I was gone or not, that did not change at all. And that makes sense because that has nothing to do with the algorithm or YouTube promoting your videos. That's just once people find your videos, whether it was promoted to them or not, the video is the video. YouTube's algorithm can't really change that. So now let's check out the audience tab and then the revenue tab because people love diving into the money. But this is something new that YouTube has done. They've broken down your viewers or your audience from new viewers and your returning viewers. So your new viewers is this blue line right here, and the purple line is returning viewers or subscribers. So you can see new viewers has definitely gone down. So the reason that my channel has dropped, this is it. It's because new people who were not familiar with me and they probably were finding me from search, that has gone down. And I want to dive into that search more to see if my hypothesis that me appearing in search results was less. Because if I'm just appearing in less searches, then that's less opportunities for people to click and watch, which means less views. You see right here, I think this is actually really interesting. The returning viewers on average, I was getting on a non-upload day around, 230, 250. Whenever I'd upload, it'd go up to 450, 600, which is great. But when I came back, that dropped basically by a third. Instead of 600 people coming back to watch my videos as soon as a new video dropped, only 385 did. And then for my next video, even less people showed up, and the next one was kind of less. And so for me, that actually is a really big insight that I want to call out. If you stop showing up for your subscribers, when you come back, your subscribers are going to stop showing up for you. You need to be consistent because they're looking forward to your videos and they get in the habit of watching your videos whenever you drop them. Maybe it's every Wednesday, every Tuesday. They get in that habit and then the YouTube algorithm says, hey, these people like these videos. So every time you have a new video, it will promote your video to them as soon as it drops. Whereas if you're gone, maybe they discovered other creators. Maybe there's other things that occupy your time during your absence. So when you come back, YouTube's gonna think that maybe they're not as interested in that anymore. And so when you launch a new video, they may not push it out to as many subscribers, which is a huge, huge bummer. So this is definitely one of the things to pay attention to if you are going to take a break from YouTube. Know that it can affect your subscriber base. That's why it's really important to batch videos and to have a few waiting in the wings, ready to go in case something happens. Just have that video uploaded and ready to go, so that way you can just hit publish when you're in a pinch. And we already talked about revenue, but you can see the revenue numbers did not drastically decrease, which is great and I'm thankful for. And hey, things are picking back up at the end of the month. I had my highest date ever. So I hope you enjoyed that YouTube analytics report. I love sharing my journey with you guys, and hope that you can see by seeing my journey what's possible for you, or even more. And you can learn from the things that I'm doing, or in this case, not doing, so that way you can prevent that happening from your channel, so that way you can keep growing your influence on YouTube. Be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to my channel, and let me know in the comments your experience from taking time off from YouTube. That's what I'm gonna talk about. But you can see at the end of the month, I had a video that, okay, noisy car. Can you see that? Hello? Probably, you probably can see that. That's not great. And the car made a circle back around the cul-de-sac, and here it's coming again. No, get out of here.